Howdy y'all, Grey Ghost 55 here. We are starting on our next pie creation in this cooking episode. I'm doing, this was actually a half part of a part two of, I made 2 sets of pie since I got all the equipment out. I'm going to make this second kind called an oatmeal pie. And warning, I've never attempted this recipe before. But it's been in our family cookbooks, and I wanted to give it a try. And you're probably wondering at this point, though, why is he making so many pies? Well, my work is having a Christmas get together, just a small thing. It's more of an eat and run. We're so busy, especially during all this time of year. It's really hectic and kind of just puts us a little in the Christmas cheer and gets our mind off all the stresses that come with it. So anyway, I'm baking these pies, and I'm going to bring 1 Jefferson Davis pie to work and 1 oatmeal pie to work. But if you haven't seen the Jefferson pie video yet, please look in the search it up, or do that magical computer wizardry and make it happen. And please watch it. It's a really good video, and I hope you guys will like it. I know it tastes delicious for me, so I hope you guys will try it. But anyway, the oatmeal pie it's a pretty simple pie too. And we're going to dive deep in it, and we're going to see if I can whip this out, and hopefully it will not end up like certain potato candy. Which, by the way, that was delicious. Just had to have a little extra sugar. But without, let's go ahead and dive in, and I will see you there. Alright guys, here I am. Please excuse my notes, but I must read it because do not have that good of a memory. But anyway, we have our 2 pie shells there thawing. I'm going to put some tin foil on them just in a few minutes. So anyway, we're going to get with this that oatmeal pie, if I can get my English right. And the first we're looking at is 2 eggs beaten. We'll toss some bad boys in there. And we're looking at 2/3 cup of brown sugar, which I prepared. To go to. You cannot stay in the bowl. Okay. And 2/3 cups of white syrup, and that is light corn syrup, Karo, as my family's always used it. Now, how I'm going to do this and get it right is I'm hoping, I did a little bit of questioning, and if you put some I don't know what the kind is, but it was a Crisco brand, and you just give it a light spray in your measuring cup, and in theory this Karo syrup is supposed to not stick at least as bad, and you get your full amount of 2/3 cup in there. So we're going to test it out. So I'll fill up my 2/3 cup. Put the brakes on it, or it'll overfill. Alright, let's find out if it works. It do work. I will put that in the memory bank to do next time, because I've done honey and stuff like that too. I don't know if you do honey, but at least for the syrup trick here, that is awesome. It just plopped right out of there. And hardly any residue. Okay, and we need 4 tablespoons of soft margarine. I got it here pre-melted, and unlike my Jefferson Davis pie, I got this into a full liquid form. I didn't leave chunks in it, so hopefully it will not be as bad to mix. So we'll goodness in there. And we have a 2/3 cup of oats. Now they have to be Minute Oats. They can't be the old-fashioned traditional oat where it takes like longer time to cook. You need the Minute Oats for this recipe to work. So before I add it in there, which I about did, your recipe instructs you to go ahead and mix what you have. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that, let it mix. My arms thank this guy so much for mixing this and the pie, the Jefferson Davis pie together, because I ain't gonna lie, fellas, I work full time, and when I get home, I'm pretty wore out. It's not like horrible work, but it's exhausting work. You know the drill. You're ready to just go home and just like kind of pass out in a corner and fall asleep. But while this is mixing, the recipe instructs that you have to mix it together and then stir in the oats and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And I will say, as far as observations, the batter is a lot different from Jefferson Davis because it was a cream. It's a custard type pie. This is like, it really shows all that brown sugar. It's almost like a syrup form, obviously, with that Karo in there. So we're going to let it stir up a little bit more. I'm going to take my nice handy dandy spatula. And while this is mixed, I'm going to go ahead and tell you to go ahead and please give a like, give a subscribe, and please hit that bell for more videos if you like these. Please leave a comment down below, because I'm always looking forward for feedback, and I want to hear from other opinions. But I just want to take a moment and say thank you for watching these videos, and if you are already subscribed, thank you for sticking with me thus far. But now let's see, it's starting to even out a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a cut, pull it. Oh, yeah, you can tell that Karo's in there because it is like a syrup. It's very stringy. There's really no liquidicity. Is that a word? Liquidicity. It's not a runny liquid. It stays together and it holds its form as a syrup. It's not firm by any means, but so I'm gonna go ahead and shut the hatch again, lock her down, and kick on the button. And let's turn her down a little bit lower. And as the instructions say, I'm going to stir in the 2/3 cup of 1 Minute Oats. It has to be 1 minute. Let's go ahead and do so. Very slowly, so they don't overpower them. Get them little scrappies out. Ain't wasting this house. Cost too much. Now, it also said to stir in 1 teaspoon of vanilla, so I shall retrieve my vanilla. It said 1 teaspoon. Here it is. Pardon me, that is just a hair bit of lemon zest. Please do not frown upon me. I clean every dish that I use for the Jefferson Davis pie except the measuring spoons. Okay. Okay, there is 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm adding it. There we go. There's been other recipes involving, I mean, lots of vanilla that I've seen, and I'm thinking about if I get the fun saved, I'd like to try the vanilla beans where you put them in some like a vodka and just let them steep and have my own vanilla, since I'm hoping to do more videos like this, and that way it won't break the bank so bad. But anyway, the observations now, it's still got that color, that deep, dark, rich brown sugar color, and the oatmeal oats are now mixing in there, and it is coming like this slurry, and it's still holding that syrup quality. But I'm gonna get it. Let's go ahead and kick her down. I gotta say, it smells good. The mix alone is quite delicious. Smells quite delicious. Let's see if I can fish it up there. See, that's what it's looking like. It's a real syrup quality. See, and of course the oats are not fully done, so they're still in their raw shape. We'll stir there, make sure everything's getting where it's supposed to be. Alright, let's put her down and kick her down some. Doing the higher speed like this, it's still where it's got that little bit of syrup in it. It's just like holding together, so it's sticking more as a mass, but it's still running, but it's clumping together. But while that mixes, I'm gonna go ahead and put our pie shell ready. Now, in case you did miss it from the other video, from the Jefferson Davis pie, I do this because it's at least my home preference to have like a more of a softer crust on their pie. To each their own, but we like a little bit softer crust. So what we do to make that happen is we get strips of aluminum foil and we'll just wrap it around the edge of the pie crust, so when it bakes, that heat is getting diverted away. And amazing how I can just like totally over-explain simple tinfoil on a pie crust. Aha! I did not drop it. Okay. Let's take a look at that batter. Yeah, looking a lot more better mixed now. Alright, let's take a look at it now. Nope, no skim on the bottom. That's good news. Gray Ghost, I'm so sorry my camera died. So in the midst of that, I saw that it had died and had to put my phone on charge. But anyway, so I went ahead and mixed the next batch of the oatmeal pie. Be noted that if you do this recipe here as the way I instructed it, you're only going to get one 9-inch pie shell filled. So if you want to do 2 at the same time, double the recipe. But anyway, that is what it looks like in its finished, or not finished, but in its raw form before it gets baked. And I had the oven preheated to 325, and it's going to have to bake for 45 minutes, according to the recipe. But when I bring it, when it gets out and the timer clicks out, I'm going to take both these pies and we'll see them in their finished form, and we'll cut a slice out of each of them so you can see the true beauty in it. But anyway, I'll bring you guys around, and when they get done baking, and we shall see what they look like. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Gray Ghost. The oven has clicked on the oatmeal pies. This pie recipe I've never tried before. I can definitely say this as far as observations. It panned out a whole lot better, at least at face value, than the potato candy. It went a lot smoother. So I'm going to the pies have had a chance to firm up a little bit, and they're still a little warm. But I'm going to cut one open. We're going to get a look at it, and I'll taste test it and see how good this was. This pie is just it was a regular recipe. This came out of my family's recipe booklet, and specifically my mom's. And we're going to try and just see if this recipe still holds up to the standards, the new standards of today. And one picky son. One cutter. It's more robust than the last pie. I can tell there's a lot more texture in it from the oatmeal. There's what it looks like. Definitely see the oatmeal in there, but there's like I don't know if a caramelization is the right word, but it's like a pecan pie. In a lot of regards, like that gooey texture right there. Now also this pie is still kind of warm. It's not hot, but it's probably still firming up in the process. So it's probably going to firm up just a bit more, but we'll put it on the plate. I definitely smell I do smell that oatmeal in it, and I smell the brown sugar. Mostly oatmeal. Time for the truth. Still warm. Still very warm while I just got it out of the oven. It didn't give it near as much time like my other pie to firm up, but feel very good. It's very delicious. You get a lot of the oatmeal in there, and the oatmeal is done. There's no There's no like biting into a raw piece of oatmeal. It's all thoroughly cooked. I better be. I'm eating it. But I'm picking up those spices. I'm going to have to look again and see what those spices were that I put in there. It's just the brown sugar, amazingly. I thought I added something extra to it. But it's just really the brown sugar, the Karo syrup to give that consistency, and the oatmeal. And that's still, I mean, it's like a pecan pie, I have to really say, without the pecans. You get a lot of the extra oatmeal in there, but I mean, it's filling. I like the taste of it. And it's got a little bit of a crunch there on top where it got that little bit of crust. It's not overly bearing sweet. It's sweet, but it's not like overkill. I gotta say, Mama's recipe still stands up to the test of time, because I've never had this recipe before. We was digging in the books and we happened to run across it. Said, "Ooh, video time!" But it's really good. There is some, I mean, where it is like got that Karo syrup in there, there's a little bit of a stickiness to that to give it that consistency, but I mean, that's not terrible. This pie's got a great flavor. The oatmeal really, it's not like, if you had oatmeal before, you know what it tastes like. So give it like that kind of, but it's not like the breakfast texture. It's got its own set of texture to it. It's like a little bit more firmer, because you can pick up the oatmeal pieces in it. But I say this is definitely surpassed. This is a definite pass, and I'm gonna bring that other pie to work. But that oatmeal pie is a definite pass, and I would recommend that to anybody who wants to make like just a simple pie, nothing like requiring too much headache to try to figure out or do. It's just simply the oatmeal, the brown sugar, and the Karo syrup, some eggs. But of course, you'll see the recipe in there to give you the in-depth. And I'll try to put it in the description box this time. But people, that is definitely a pass. I'd recommend that pie on anyone's dinner table. And I'm going to bounce out of here. I got that lovely work coming in the morning. But guys, please give this a like, share, and subscribe if you like this content. And please hit that bell. And as we know, all glory goes to God. It's been till next time. Grey Ghost out.